Hey there, collectors, it's going to be Steven here, and welcome to another Doom review. Hot off the heels of my Figma Doomslayer review, or Doom Guy, that's what I'm going to be calling this one pretty much throughout the review. We have a look today at the McFarlane Doom Eternal Doomslayer Classic Armor figure. So short, sweet, to the point. In Doom Eternal, you can unlock different skins, different armors for Doom Guy instead of having him wear his Praetor suit, and one of them is going to be the OG look for Doom Guy. So it's not the original Doom Guy armor. Cool. This was a gold label McFarlane Toy Store exclusive. However, that was only in the US. In the UK, it apparently was a general retail release by Bandai UK. They distributed it. So if you didn't happen to pick this up when it was available and you're in the US, check Amazon and eBay because you may be able to pick this up between $30 to $40 or so. You may need to get lucky and hope that you're able to get it. But with that being said, again, it's exclusive. Aftermarket price is crazy. So people who missed out, they really need a review like this. So let's take a look to see whether or not the OG Doom Guy is going to be worth adding into your collection. This is a pretty simplistic figure. There's not really a whole lot to talk about here, so I'll go ahead and get short, sweet, and to the point. The pros of the figure, I would have to say, is wow, he looks really good. For those of you who are maybe just looking to pick it up because this is going to be pretty much the only Doom Guy figure on the market that is, well, for the original look of Doom Guy, congratulations. McFarlane pretty much nailed the overall look. We do have the equipment belt here with a whole bunch of different pockets and so forth and shotgun shells on the front, which looks good. We have the pants that have a whole bunch of scratches and so forth. Solid. We have the very much so neon lime green armor on the torso. We have darker green for the pants, and then we have brown for the boots on the bottom. He's wearing his gloves, obviously, and that helmet with some nice dry brushing. Mwah, chef's kiss. We have a little bit of dry brushing on the abdomen, which is cool. A bit of the downside, though, is, yeah, that is definitely neon green. Oh boy, that's going to throw off my camera a bit here. And then for you Doom Eternal fans, something that you may know about is they made it a point that whenever there was an alt skin, they still detailed some of the scarring that Doom Guy had. Most notably on the forearms, if you look back to the original cover of the OG Doom, you'll notice that he has scars on his arm in reference to where the demons were grabbing him. One last thought point for this section, McFarlane actually did sculpt a face underneath the helmet behind the visor. I'm not going to show you that because you do have to ruin and remove the visor, but trust me, it's there. We're going to hopefully get some sort of variant at some point down the line. Overall, the figure does look good, considering the cost, we have a whole video on that, is going to be $20. All right, so Doom Lad's articulation. Oh, why is he holding the shotgun? Well, we'll talk about that in just a second. Is a significant improvement over the Eternal Praetor suit and the repaints and the different variants that McFarlane did. And so much so, if that was your first action figure ever and you were to handle this, you'd be like, wow, this is figure of the year. However, in terms of general action figure status, it's okay. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about the equipment launcher. So it plugs into the back on a swivel, which I guess if you really tried, you could pop it off, but nevertheless, it spins around. Then we do have this portion here, which is on a swivel, and then this portion here, which is on a ball joint. So you can't really put it in a rested, I don't know, put back pose, I guess you would want to call it. But you can do that, which I guess is kind of close. You can do that. You can do that. So you can put it away. You can tuck it away if you don't like it, or you can just twist it if you're doing photography and you want to get a normal, natural OG Doom Guy. Look at that, it's gone. All right, head. So I've popped it off before. It's going to be on a double axis or barbell style ball joint, kind of sort of similar to the OG Eternal release, but not really. So we do have some good movement, but it's not quite the same. So we can get him to look up about that far, down that far really well. Obviously spin all the way around, rock from side to side, good. These shoulder pads are on rubber or very soft plastic, so it doesn't really get in the way of him T-posing with the shoulder hinges, which is good. They swivel around. You can even see the designations there for left and right for the arms. Okay, notice the paint chipping there, but that's fine. No dedicated bicep swivel, but we have single hinges in the elbows, which, about 90 degrees, but we do have swivels in the elbows. But note, we do have this giant bicep that cuts right into the forearm. Isn't that nice? So make sure you are not using the hinge all the way before you get any sort of swivel movement. For the wrists, they plug in on pegs and then they hinge in and out. So, you know, the Marauder had amazing wrists, and we take a step back here. We're going to talk about again why the Super Shotgun is already in his hand in a second. We do have 2 joints in the torso. Ball jointed ab crunch, which is really great for movement, as you can see here. Look at that range of movement back and forward. And then a ball jointed waist, which, you know, it's good movement for rocking and twisting and turning. All fine and dandy there. Now for the hips. As you can see, there is a hinge, so this way they can splay on out to the side. And then you can hear the ratchets there. We do have dedicated thigh swivels. Cool. There is a peg that plugs in for effective hinge or swivel movement, depending on how you look at things forward and back. You will note that this leg is a little loose on mine. Why? Because it popped off once. I don't think it's broken, but this leg just accidentally popped off once, and it's never been the same since. The leg just became super loose, and that's just how it's been. But, I mean, it is what it is. It's not super faulty. Knees. Single hinge with that much range of movement, which is kind of garbo, but they do swivel around. So we do get some range of movement there. Ankles. They plug in on a swivel, or so I've been told, but I haven't been able to get them to move. We do have a hinge forward and back and ankle rocker movement, which is great. So the articulation is miles ahead of the original Eternal Praetor suit, Doomacorn, the Astro armor, the white armor, and the Ember Slayer. So, yeah, well, all of the Eternal Praetor suits, variants, and repaints. So that's good. But on its own, it still could use a lot of other tooling, especially when it comes to the accessories. So first and foremost, you may notice the Doom Blade is not attached here. Here's a picture of it up on the screen. So you know what that looks like. It can be removed. It is off to my right-hand side here in the pile of junk that I have. The reason I have it off is just because in the games, it's only used for the glory kills, pretty much, or, you know, a couple of cutscenes. So I don't understand why McFarlane hasn't decided to give us a retracted Doom Blade at this point, or even a relaxed equipment launcher or an effect part for the equipment launcher. But here's kind of the Super Shotgun. Here's kind of the thing. It's all silver except for here and a part of the meat hook. What? Hold on. Maybe you'll hear some stuff fall. Like is that? Oh, that was the McFarlane Crucible that fell. We also do get a stand, which plugs into his foot. So this way, when he does a stanky leg, it's not as bad. Now, the hands are like stone. So, when you're trying to get accessories in and out of his hands, be careful the super soft plastic of the Super Shotgun does not get ripped or torn. I mean, that's the name of the game, but you don't want to rip and tear your accessories. So what's the point here that I'm complaining about for the accessories? Original Praetor, the Walgreens exclusive bronze repaint, Phobos, Doomacorn. We have the white BBTS exclusive, the Astro, I believe, which came with the Crucible. We have the Ember Slayer, which I believe that came with the Ember skin for the SSG. I think I never used that in-game. We have the classic Doom guy, and then we have the red repaint of the classic Doom guy. So we can take away the white armor, and I think those are all of the Eternal Doom guy releases McFarlane has done, I think. 2 weapons. Are you shitting me? Todd. Where's it at? Anyway, here's a 360 spin view of Doom Guy in okay, so it's in a more so Quake-ish pose, but let's be honest here, Doom, OG Doom, deathmatch, I mean, that's what it's all about. If you do need effect parts or accessories or other weapons, I'm going to be working on a big, not necessarily full definitive video, but a nice comprehensive video if you do have a couple of Doom figures and you need recommendations for weapons. You know, I have other videos to help you out. Here's going to be a size comparison with some other figures that you just might have. And, you know, it's actually pretty interesting that this, despite being an alt skin for Doom Guy in Eternal, he's actually smaller than the original McFarlane, but it does put him in a better size category than the Marauder, which is pretty cool. Yeah. So buy now, skip, or wait for a deal. Overall, the figure does look great. The articulation, though, I mean, yeah, it's 20 bucks, but it's good compared to what we've had in the line so far, which is only $3 deep, but it is behind the times quite a bit. But again, it's $20, so considering that, it's very good. I think the biggest downside, though, is definitely going to be the lack of variety of weapons in this lineup. This was a perfect chance to introduce a classic Doom weapon here. I know it was a new mold entirely, but we do have a repaint, so clearly they're going to reuse this mold in the coming releases. So yay. Now, if you are interested in picking this up, again, you may have to get lucky with a UK seller, which will ship to the US for relatively affordable fees. You can probably get it for 35, 40 bucks. I know that there have been people who I talked to who've been able to do that. Or you can get, at the time of recording this, on January 10th, 2023, the red skin, which is currently up for pre-order, saying it ships in February, but mine's going to be delivered tomorrow. Now, with that being said, we're looking at repaints. We have the green one. We have a multiplayer deathmatch red. Can we get a nice, deep, dark, rich blue one? Don't know what that's in reference to? Look up some Doom speedrunning. I think we need the master in the lineup. Well, collectors, that brings us to the end of the video today, and I just wanted to take a second to thank you so much for watching. Now, you've heard a lot from me. I'd like to hear a little bit from you. Drop in the comments down below whether or not you liked it, you hated it, or maybe you were somewhere in between. I also want to take an extra second here for a nice, humongous thank you to all the patrons for SDR over the last month who have really helped the channel grow into what it can be today. So to all of you, 2 big thumbs up. Thank you very much. And now the end card should be popping up, which will give you a few clickable links, like maybe to subscribe or head on over to my Patreon, or some short URLs like to my social media or to my Teespring store. There's also a video I hand selected for you, so if you want to watch another STR video, I hand selected some good content for you to watch, so definitely check out that video. Thank you again so much for watching, and I'll catch ya in the next video.